Hello, and today we're going to cover the EleMake High Security Locks Digital Deadbolt. This lock will actually open with the PIN code or your fingerprint. I believe you can control this with your smartphone app as well, so there's lots of convenient ways to control this particular lock. First thing that we're going to do is start off by removing the existing deadbolt that is on your lock, or on your door. If you already have a lock installed, and the hole is already drilled and it's been drilled correctly and with the correct measurements, and the door is aligned properly, then you should have no problem installing this lock. First, we're going to take the bolt of the lock, and we're going to take the bolt. It's going to say this side up and have a little arrow up, as you can see there. Once you have that in line, just go ahead and insert it into the side of the door, the hole that goes into the side of the door, along with the two screws. If these screws are stripped, a little tip is you can use toothpicks or any other type of wood to be able to put into that hole, or possibly even a little wood glue to be able to give those screws some traction and be able to hold the new bolt in place. It's very common for those screws to get stripped out. So if they are, little tip for that. You can see that there's a little magnetic cover where there is a keyhole underneath. I do believe that is a Schlage SC keyway. Once you have the external portion put through and the wire fed through correctly, then you will put the internal plate on as well. And the internal plate actually has two rods that align and go into two pipes on the locking side. So making sure that you run the wire correctly. These are all in your instructions, making sure that the wire is ran correctly. Once you confirm that the wire has been run in the correct position, you can then tighten up the screws. I recommend making sure that you tighten the screw a little bit and then check the deadbolt to make sure that it's fully functional, just like I did right there. Then tighten the other side and check it again. If you get any kind of binding, that will cause a problem. So here I'm showing the connection point where the external portion of the lock actually plugs into the internal portion of the lock. Then you'll need to take the battery cover off to access the screw points inside. There's actually a little pin. It's a spring-loaded pin. You push it in with something very small. My very small screwdriver worked, or a paper clip, or just anything really thin should work just fine. Then you actually hook the wires to the internal portion of the lock, just like so. And then one of the most difficult parts of the entire installation is making sure that the seal is in place and that the wires are ran correctly and do not get pinched. It may take a few times to set this up properly. You've also got your door position sensor there as well, so you can include your door position sensor and make sure that that is set in the correct location. Keep in mind there are two separate back sets, so you've got 2 3/8 and 2 3/4. If you are doing this on your home, likelihood is you're going to have a 2 3/8 or the smaller back set, as that is usually referred to as the residential grade back set. If you're putting this on your office or your business or a heavy-duty metal door, likelihood is that you will be at the 2 3/4 inch back set. You'll need to trim or set your door position sensor accordingly. You can see now I'm testing the bolts, I'm tightening all the screws up, I'm making sure everything is working correctly. Then we actually have our keys, like so. Test and make sure that the keys work. Alignment is key on everything. Making sure that the lock bolt functions just as smoothly when the door is open as when it is shut is vital. Your lock will fail if you do not take this step. Now we're adding the batteries, making sure that the lock is getting powered on correctly, and we can move to programming. Simply download the app and program the lock as you see fit. For more information, check out wayneslockshop.com and check out this link below.